cabinet door silencer. Here's another thick rubber, and it's just clear. And I may have to do something like that. I'm still kind of thinking what my options are, because see here's something. If you have a stile like this between your cabinet, like that, okay, you've got to look and see where those are. Now see this smaller cabinet? This doesn't have a stile, does it? See? Oh, so I wouldn't. If all of mine were like that, it's going to make a difference than if some of them have the stile, okay? Or if some of them, like see this door here, this door doesn't have a stile, but it's got this and the face frame, and see how far that goes over, and see where this is? It's about in the middle. It's slightly off just a little bit, but the screw right there is hitting. Right there. Do you see that? That's what made that mark. So if I put a door silencer on here, it has to be at least as thick as that screw. Or this screw, if not thicker. It should be a little bit thicker than that, because eventually that's going to depress a little bit, depending what kind of door silencer you put on. And eventually this could be hitting your cabinet face frame, or see, here's your cabinet face frame, and here's your stile, which is part of the face frame, okay? And you see here, see where that screw is right there? Look, it's hitting right there. The other screw is hitting that. You see there? Right? I can tell that it's hitting. So when these doors close hard, even though this looks like it's thicker than that, if these are closed hard, depending, this could hit there, and it's odd how that happens, because see there, it should be stuck out far enough. And you know, maybe it is, maybe once upon a time these didn't have these, and they might have had small door silencers on there, and that might have been hitting there all the time, and then they changed up and they put these down here, and I think that's probably what happened, because see, there's those foam ones up there, okay, and they probably had those down here previous, and I can see through this clear one the remnants of a foam one that had been taken off, and they decided to replace these bottom ones with just a little bit thicker, and they left lots of those on the existing ones. Well, I don't want to leave those existing. If I'm going to change anything, I want to make them all the same. You know what I mean? And so if I do take these off, it leaves a remnant there. Or if one of these is missing, this might be all sticky right in down here where the bumper hits and stuff. And son of a gun, when you try to clean those off, it's hard to clean that off. And so if I have to take some of those off, I'm going to use this. This is called Goof Off Works the first time. And this, I was reading on it. I really didn't like to use Goof Off. I've had to take the remnants of this off before, and I used Goo Gone, it's called. And I use that, and that works really good, but I don't have any. And last time Mommy went to the store, she got this, and I was all over. I said, don't get Goof Off. I don't like using Goof Off. That takes everything off. Lots of times it'll take the sheen of the surface off, whatever you're trying to do, even if you have a painted surface or a sealant surface, it could take it off. And you try to take marks off of carpet, and eventually you do that, you use Goof Off, and then the dirt on your shoes, when it goes over the Goof Off collects the dirt, and lots of times it's not good. But I was reading on this, and this is a new formula. She tried this on one thing, and we had a sticker. We had a sticker on this brand new appliance, this refrigerator, and there was a sticker here. I was going to get it all off with just elbow grease and my fingernail and stuff. She uses Goof Off, and I thought, don't use it. You're going to be sorry. This is probably going to etch or something. Well, I could see it did not etch. It actually came off really nice. I'm not recommending using goof off for anything that is stainless steel. This is fingerless, finger-proof, finger-resistant stainless steel. It's not that fake stainless steel, but it's not the stuff that's really not shiny. That's real stainless steel. You just put your finger on there and you can see your fingerprint on there, or all the fingerprints on the doors and stuff. This is something slightly different that we got, and it came off with goof off. And so that's what the door silencers are for. But see, these door silencers, I was going to use brown, by the way, because these cabinets are stained. If these cabinets were white, I wouldn't use brown. I'd use the white ones. Well, they had some white ones at the store too, but I'm not going to use white on here because the brown would look better. Although, see, these brown ones, they're called medium. See, medium duty felt pads. And they have some thicker ones, but the particular store I went at, they didn't have many thicker. I don't think I can use those because they're not very thick. If I put those on, can you see? If I put that on down there, it's not going to be as thick as that one. And then the screw's going to start hitting right in there. So I don't think I can use these felt ones. And the funny thing was, on these cabinets, whoever installed them, they left a sticker up high. I'm not sure if this is the sticker up here for this or not. Oh, there. Oh yeah. No, that's not it. There's another one on there that specifically says if you're going to install door knobs or handle pulls on the cabinet doors, you're supposed to inset the area of the cabinet, pre-drill that out, so that particular screw will fit flush. And the reason why they said that is because this will hit your stile or will hit your frame every time that closes. See, depending how wide your stile is, how wide your frame is, how wide your frame is on your door, where they have these installed. If this stile here on the actual door would have been wider, let's say would be this wide, and if they centered that in there, that would have missed. That screw would have missed this edge, and then you wouldn't have that issue. Well, they didn't. They wanted to try to keep these fairly centered on this stile. That's just what they decided to do. Had they moved this over, it might have looked funky that this was way over here and the handle would have been way over about this far. Do you see what I mean? That might not have looked right. The screw would have missed that then. But because they didn't indentate that, what could I do? I could take all of those off and take a big wider drill bit and kind of drill it in just the face and be real careful, and then re-screw that on there, hoping that that screw threads is not long enough to where when I countersink it in, I hope I don't have to cut all of the threads off of the screw. You know what I mean? And then I could put the brown ones on there, couldn't I? I could do that, or I could go back to the store, see if I can get some thicker brown ones. Even if I could get thicker brown ones, eventually it's going to mash in. So I may have to get some little clear bumpers like this, and the fatter ones, maybe take one of those off or something, take it to the store, because I want whatever I end up doing, I want them all to look the same. And these are discolored after a while. They get kind of yellowy, and they're not matching the top. And some of them are missing, like I've already pointed out. This one here doesn't have any on the door. The door I took off. Let's take a look at that. See, this top one's missing. That's just the back of the bit that fell off. And there's another one at the bottom that's brown. And then there's some over here. See, this one's missing. There's nothing here. That one's missing up there. And so I want everything to be 100% when I get done, okay? And so that's another part of the project. And then I'll adjust these a little bit or something. See this one here? Look at this. See how it's loose up there? Well, I'll fix that after I take that out, if you weren't taking out these hinges, what I would suggest is after you get done with your job or whatever, you check all your hinges, make sure they're tight. It's simple as tightening up that screw. And if you need to raise it up or down, you undo those screws a little bit. You can raise this up or down or centered, whatever. And there's lots of different things you can do on cabinet doors, getting them adjusted, doing all that kind of stuff. So, you know, when I get done, I'll take a look at that and see if I need to do any adjustments. Chances are I won't, because see, even though I got a double door, anytime we've got a double door, if that style wasn't there, the doors would have been closer together. And then it's all about making sure they're lined up, the gap is right, and all that kind of stuff. And then you can start adjusting these. But see, any double door that I have has the style in there, and this is far enough apart that if they're slightly off, you may not notice it. If they are really far off, then you can still adjust your concealed hinges. Generally, most of them can be adjusted one way or not, or another, okay? And so there you go. Once I start, I want to get it all done, and I want it to look right when I'm done. So after I put the hinges on, I'm not going to be done with this, am I? I still have to make the decision what to do about these knobs, whether or not to undo one of the screws. Because see, once I undo one screw and drill the hole, I've got to continue. If I don't like it, I can't really fix it. I'd have to put a washer around that on the back side to get it back where I want. Maybe I take the screw out, measure it, and see if I can screw it in further into here to make sure it'll go farther, so I can take a measurement. After I take that out, put the screw back in here, measure the thickness of that, put that in there that far with my tape measure, and then see if I can't drive the screw in to just the handle bit enough to where it's mimicking, countersinking that end, and seeing if that's going to work. Because see, without the bumpers on these have been off for quite some time. This screw right there has been hitting and marking up the face frame of the cabinet right there. Do you see that? Every single time. Do I really want to put a bumper right there? I mean, I could put a bumper right there and be done, couldn't I? I could put one there and one down here to mimic that. I don't like to usually do bumpers, felt bumpers or clear bumpers or anything like that on the face of a cabinet face frame style like this. I don't really like to do that. You're not really going to see those when the door's closed, so I'm really not too concerned about that if I put the bumpers where they're supposed to be and at least fat enough. So I've still got to decide for that, but that's for me to mull over what I'm going to do with that. The next thing I want to do is I'm not going to take all the hinges off or anything. I'm going to do just the one door, and this is the door I took the hinge off before going to the hardware store, and I'm going to take the other hinge off and replace them, put it up there, make sure I did in fact get the right ones, and I'm pretty sure I did, and make sure it closes properly and all that, and that I'm 100% happy with it before I start taking all my hinges off and then finding out later something's gone askew. Okay, step by step, you can do it. Hey, if I can do it, you can do it.